Good evening, this is Corporal Cretella with a Dawn of War 2 Retribution Elite Modcast, and I am a little tired from a long week of work, so this might be a slightly quieter cast. Anyway, we have a game right here, 2v2 on, I don't even know what this map is called, I forget. But anyway, we've got me, Corporal Cretella, as Sindri, Trollface, Chaos Sorcerer, and we've also got mg.fab on this side as Sindri's clone. On the other side, we've got Doctor of Beasts as the Commissar Lord. And we have manonmars as the Lord General. Not getting a good angle on this guy for some reason, but check out that cape. Pretty cool. You know, this game right here. What can I say? We have Imperial Guard versus Chaos Space Marines. Now, I was kind of saying to my teammate, Imperial Guard is a bitch. Traditionally, this matchup is definitely supposed to favor Chaos. And I just got a really beautiful Doom Bolts going off against those Guardsmen. And now I'm putting the Chaos Space Marines in cover. So as I'm saying, this matchup traditionally favors Chaos. I think the Elite mod has kind of helped the matchup in favor of Imperial Guard, though. One of the big things going for Imperial Guard in this matchup is that they got the artillery spotter unit. And that unit pretty much hard counters Havocs. So Havocs are not as much of an asset in this matchup as they usually are, which is very tough considering they're often used as a way of really holding off the Sentinel, since the Sentinel can't really approach Havocs. Now in this matchup, the as I'm talking, Guardsman squad goes down for Doctor of Beast. Ouch, big loss very quickly early on in the game. But anyway, those basically at this point in the matchup, if Imperial Guard gets an artillery spotter, a Havoc squad is actually going to be dead weight for Chaos. Because basically the Havoc squad will either get disrupted with a regular shell or will get blinded with the smoke shell. And either way, it can't really do anything if an artillery spotter squad is out. Luckily, neither Imperial Guard player has an artillery spotter squad. These are my Chaos Space Marines right here that are chasing down Guardsmen in forced melee, and they're actually just getting a ton of models, and well, maybe not a ton, but they're getting some models. These fights are kind of going in favor of Chaos for the most part. manonmars is kind of taking the field now. He's getting the stabilizers, which get the back in the fight ability. I feel like you don't see that much. Usually, if you want to heal as Imperial Guard with the Lord General, you get the Sergeant, so you could give the med pack ability. And I was aggressive on this side, and now I'm capturing this power point. Imperial Guard players are taking the middle. We have from our players, I actually went double Chaos Space Marines and double Heretics. Something new I wanted to try. And it's a very ranged heavy build right now. It is, at least. My Chaos Sorcerer right here gets the Vestments of the Warp. One of the things I like about this replay and why I wanted to cast it was that we have the Sorcerer, which is my favorite hero. I made him, and we have actually we're gonna have two different ways of using the Sorcerer in here. We already have Grenade Launcher Heretics from mg.fab's Heretics, and those are great against Guardsmen, although right now these Heretics are taking too much damage. We've got Grenade Launchers on my Heretics too. Basically, you kind of, double Grenade Launcher Heretics. That's kind of what I wanted to try in this matchup. Double Grenade Launcher Heretics, because it does just so much damage to those Guardsmen and gets them to retreat so quickly that I wanted to try having two of them and seeing how much of a bitch that would be for an Imperial Guard player. And you know, so far, my team is now losing on the victory points, but I have been aggressive, and I did get this power point, although the Imperial Guard player on this side was aggressive with their contested power and got their power. We have Space Marines in the garrison right here. Doctor of Beast doesn't really have a counter for that. His Commissar is moving up, though, and now attacking, trying to get in melee with mg.fab's double Heretics. So he's got double Heretics too. Double Grenade Launcher Heretics almost wipes that Imperial Guard squad. My god, those grenade launchers, really good. I guess part of that AoE from Chaos that is supposed to really just destroy Imperial Guard. And this Doctor Beast got a heavy weapon team. He's also got a second one, but it's kind of not doing much right now because these Chaos Space Marines are just tanking damage in the garrison. We should check out this fight. I think it's a little more interesting. Chaos Sorcerer just teleports in. He's got the Sword of Flame. mg.fab says he ports on setup team. Like, yeah, sure. I don't have a setup team on my lane, so you do what you need to do, bro. My Chaos Sorcerer already more than halfway to level 2. Flame Sword, very good weapon. Just really allows you early in the game to get the Sorcerer a lot of levels and allow him to bleed units, bleed models, because it basically doubles his damage against regular infantry with the damage over time. And we do now see that that artillery spire squad from Man on Mars, but precisely because of what I was just talking about, I did not go for a Havoc squad. That's part of the reason I tried this double Heretic build with both grenade launchers and double Chaos Space Marines. It's certainly a long tier 1, but I'm actually floating a lot of requisition. I don't think I'm losing many Chaos Space Marine models. I think I'm only basically bleeding from my Heretics. And we do have Heretics coming in. I mean, Guardsmen coming in right here. They are going to probably force off my Heretics. And we also have a Flare going down, which does decrease the range of my units. Heretics dangerously low on health. And this is not looking like a great engagement for me. I just basically retreat my Chaos Space Marines out of there because they're on the verge of losing a model. mg.fab's Chaos Sorcerer also does have the Vestments of the Warp. He says he's going to tier 2. I'm not. I don't have the power yet, but I do have a massive requisition float. It looks like, but the Imperial Guard team, they have taken both of the powers, and that does mean that they are getting to tier 2 faster. We have massive Doom Bolts going down. You know, as much as I said, I think Imperial Guard got some things in this matchup that's tipping the balance a bit in their favor. Maybe it's probably not necessarily in their favor, but the Artillery Spotter squad definitely does a lot to help them out a bit. But right now, from both players, from myself and also from mg.fab, we're really seeing just how ridiculous this area of effect damage works against the Imperial Guard. We have Doom Bolts and grenades going off in there. This Imperial Guard squad can't stay in there much longer because otherwise they will get wiped, and it probably will get wiped from the... Wow, it does get wiped from the combination of that range damage, and then the teleporter just... The Sorcerer just teleports in. We do have plasma guns now, though, from Doctor of... No, is it from Doctor Beast? No, this is from Man on Mars, because he's the one who's in tier 2 already. He is coming in here to support his teammate. I'm trying to go over here to support my teammate. And my Heretics, meanwhile, they do get rid of the node on this power because they want to cap it. We have been losing on the power, but we've still been winning the game. I guess maybe Chaos really does have an advantage in this matchup. I got both of my Chaos Space Marines coming to support. They're now getting in behind, running past this Commissar to force melee. We do have a missile launcher on this Sentinel right here, and unfortunately now I'm pretty much out of position. mg.fab tries to come in with his Sorcerer. He's actually getting the Rod of Warpfire instead of the Sword of Flame. Rod of Warpfire, oh, and we had a nice Warpfire right there. Got quite a few models, and the Sorcerer is now level 2, mg.fab Sorcerer, and we have Dark Flames going off. It's weird, because as we started this game, mg.fab said to me, double Dark Flames of Destruction on the Imperial Guard, and those squads almost got wiped. So he's really showing what IG can do against... Oh, and this Guardsman squad in a lot of trouble. Maybe going to get wiped too. So many models going down. I bet both of these Heretic squads are at level 2. We have Plague Marines now to deal with the Sentinel, he said. Also, we'll be able to deal with the Chimera once that comes out, if it does come out. This Sorcerer needs to go home, though, but he is level 3. My Sorcerer is still only at level 1, but he does get the Icon of Tzeentch. That's my preferred loadout against Imperial Guard. Get the Flame Sword, Teleport Armor, and the Icon of Tzeentch. All of my guys in base, though. I do get the Mark of Tzeentch on both of my Chaos Space Marines, giving them great range damage against any type of unit that's not a vehicle. This guy explodes right here, I don't know, or he gets knocked back from something. Doctor of Beast must have taken... Oh, he lost his... Oh! That was me wiping the the heavy weapon team. That's my Chaos Sorcerer wiping the heavy weapon team. And here, I wiped a power node. I destroyed a power node with my Grenade Launcher Heretics. Grenade Launcher Heretics, dangerously low on health. This is one game where I'm actually not getting... aspiring champions on my heretics. I usually get aspiring champions even with grenade launcher heretics, just because it makes them survive longer. But I knew that if I was going to have a double grenade launcher heretic build, I would have to do it without the aspiring champion, just because that really is just too expensive. And my sorcerer's in here, kind of just tanking stuff. That Chimera is now out, and we do have Icon of Tzeentch blowing Guardsmen up, and Dark Flames going down. mg.fab says he's getting a Blastmaster, more area of effect damage to just destroy those Guardsmen. And unfortunately, that Sentinel just goes down from mg.fab's Sorcerer just hitting on it with the Rod of Warpfire, and his Chaos Sorcerer just tanking in the middle of a million different things. He is in a bit of trouble right now, kind of getting pincered by two Imperial Guard players. I'm coming to help out with my Chaos Space Marines. His Sorcerer probably going to go down, and I have also my Heretics, but even my guys get forced off. Mainly trying to get this decap off. Unfortunately, as much as AoE is extremely great against Imperial Guard, the Chimera is the answer that keeps the Imperial Guard in the game. I would actually say that without the Chimera, this matchup probably would be close to unwinnable for the Imperial Guard. But it does nullify the effects of AoE, just because they can jump in the Chimera once they see something that they don't like, and it'll also help reinforce the losses that they take from area of effect. And he's coming in here to try to get this power node back, but I get a Chaos Dreadnought up, immediately upgrading to the Mark of Tzeentch, which I like to do. Looks like my teammate is kind of getting pushed off. That Blastmaster does more than 25% damage. That's like 30% damage to these Ogryns. Ogryn's such a great unit, but Blastmaster does plasma cannon damage. Wow! Two of those does a ton of damage. This Ogryn squad might go down, especially with these Khorne Space Marines. They are going to wipe it. Are they? Wow. Ogryns just barely get out of there with their lives. They do lose their Bonehead. I want to look over here. Now, this is my range blob over here. I think the Chimera just straight up goes down from the Chaos Dreadnought. Again, Chaos Dreadnought with the Icon of Tzeentch does do a ton of damage. Now, my team is currently losing on the victory points. We have a 3 cap against us, but we've certainly done quite a bit of damage on the fighting, especially now with that Chimera gone, which I just said is a great asset for keeping IG in the game against Chaos. They're going to be in a lot more trouble. And mg.fab says he almost wiped Ogryns. I caught that. I got it on tape. It is kind of sad. It was pretty beautiful with just 2 volleys from the Blastmaster, bringing those Ogryns down to about 20% health. And then he decided to get the Mark of Khorne, which is a fantastic unit, borderline OP. I think if he had an aspiring champion on it, he probably would have wiped those Ogryns. I'm using now Tzeentch Worship to cloak my Chaos Dreadnought. And my Chaos Dreadnought, we got the annoying range mob right here, but ooh, we have the Icon of Tzeentch disrupting all that, especially with we got massive explosions with the Icon of Tzeentch, and that Dark Flames almost wiped this Guardsman squad right here. 2 health. Amazing. And that's that's my Sorcerer, what I wanted to show off. mg.fab Sorcerer rocking the Rod of Warpfire instead, and getting his kills on the Guardsmen with that, and getting to level 5 with that. We have taken back the field though, and we're definitely winning on the fighting. And these Ogryns gonna get hit again. Oh, this Blastmaster is... Now I know. A Blastmaster, great choice against Ogryns, but we do have Manticore doing a lot of damage, both to these Plague Marines and also to my Chaos Dreadnought right here. We do have a Lehman Russ right here now, though. Not the greatest tank, but it is a tank. We have a 3 cap, but Imperial Guard... Oh, someone lost to a grenade launcher heretic squad. Luckily, it wasn't me. It was my teammate. Teammate only has 4 units, but I now have my 6th unit, or technically my 7th. Plague Marines, too. Plague Marines, not as good as they used to be. Certainly now that they do not heal themselves when they explode on death. And they're a little bit slower than in retail. They now have speed 4. We do have the Executioner Cannon from this Lehman Russ, but this Lehman Russ is taking a ton of damage, and I think we have a creeping barrage going off, but it does hit these Chaos Space Marines. And ooh, we have that Lehman Russ did a lot of damage to those heretics, but now this Lehman Russ is probably going to go down from the combined fire of the Plague Marines and the Chaos Dreadnought, but the Chaos Dreadnought is now in trouble, and actually, oh, it does go down. I thought it was going to tank all that damage. Wow. So the Plague Marines not quite as good as they used to be, but certainly they're still good in the sense that they're durable, and especially they do have a snare, 40% now, and combined with this Dreadnought right here, they certainly are going to be it is going to be a lot of AV, and we have more Icon of Tzeentch exploding units right here, exploding the artillery spotter squad. Not actually a great use of that, but I wanted to wipe the squad. I got desperate. But we are in a good position right now. My teammate is getting a great unclean one. I'm actually kind of staying. I think I might even stay in tier 2. We'll see how that goes. But Imperial Guard definitely really suffering from this area of effect damage from Chaos. I'm actually getting a 3rd Heretic squad. That's what I'm getting. 3rd Heretics. I think I don't have the pop cap to get any. I don't have the population room to get anything else. I do take back this power node with my Sorcerer. My Sorcerer is now only level 3, even though he's done a ton. Where'd he go? He just teleported out of there, basically to the middle where I've cloaked my army. And he actually does not have any detectors, so that cloaked army is going to be pretty good against him because he can't detect it. He can't see it. And we have the Frenzied Barrage going off, suppressing them, Icon of Tzeentch going down, and the Dark Flames blowing them all up. Lots of damage. This squad's probably going to go down. Oh, it kind of stays in there because the retreat path does not favor my Sorcerer. But I mean, just the amount of damage I did to that squad, the amount of bleed I caused, and basically just taking back the map control because of that. mg.fab says, "Fuck my life" for some reason. I don't know why. He is. Oh, I think because he's in a little bit of trouble. His great unclean one is getting melted, and it's also getting beat up by these Ogrins. But the fight's going in his direction, so it's fine. We are now taking back the middle victory point. Not looking good for Imperial Guard, just because they have lost a lot of units. They just don't have as many units on the field as we do. I have a ton. Did I get that other extra Heretic squad? And I finally get an Aspiring Champion on one of my Heretic squads, just because I can, basically. We do have the Artillery Spotters. Now and I actually lose a Heretic squad, because I was not really paying attention to this Incendiary Mortar, and now it's almost going to take out this Heretic squad, and I finally retreated out there. It only has the Aspiring Champion left. And mg.fab's Chaos Sorcerer, I haven't been catching him enough, but his Sorcerer is at level 7 from all that Doom, from all that Rod of Warpfire. And we do have Ogrins right here, which got wiped. I just missed them getting wiped by these Khorne Space Marines. One of the reasons to get Khorne Space Marines in this matchup is that they actually do very well against Ogrins. And we have this cloaked Great Unclean one. He looks very weird when he's cloaked. We can actually, it looks like a flashlight on his belly or something. What's that coming from? That's like a reflection of something. I don't know what. I think a reflection of maybe that pipe right here. Anyway, a little bit of fighting going down here. Plague Marines, unfortunately, definitely do not win against all these ranged units. So we should check out this fight instead. We do have another Lehman Russ But I still have this, and I'm in here with my Chaos Sorcerer, using the Icon of Tzeentch again in combination with Dark Flames. Gonna be just terrible, terrible damage for him. Basically, and there goes the explosion finally, and that unit will... That squad, I think, went down. Yeah, it did. And this Lehman Russ probably gonna go down now, too. Very sad for him. And now both Chaos players with 6 units. And I think this Artillery Spotter squad is going down right now. This could kind of be pretty close to GG for the Imperial Guard. And you know, unfortunately, Icon of Tzeentch is potentially overpowered against Chaos. Just because if you leave your units in there, they're going to... If you leave your guardsmen in there, they're going to explode and get disrupted. But even if you retreat them, that's almost even worse, because then the knockback won't spread out the guardsmen. And then when they explode, they just do damage to all of those clumped up guardsmen, and it usually sets off a chain reaction that just straight up wipes the entire squad. And we have this vomit from the Great Unclean One right out of... Oh, wow. The combination of that vomit and the warp fire really destroying those guardsmen. I think we really are seeing in this matchup just how ridiculous the area of effect, and even just that frenzied barrage, that area effect damage, usually doesn't hit anything, usually just suppresses, but even there, it took off like half damage from this Guardsman squad. You know, it's weird. Certainly, right now, manonmars and Doctor of Beasts definitely being good sports, but they seem to be, but I can certainly imagine them cursing behind their keyboards, maybe. There's definitely some players who would, after having to deal with all of the shit that we put these players through. Yeah, you could potentially even call this matchup just like why Chaos is gay, and why it does so well against the Imperial Guard. And right now we see like little smoke blotches on the Guardsmen. I think that's from the new passive decay that actually comes from the Great Unclean One. And we're about to get a 3-cap against the Imperial Guard, and this is pretty much going to be the game. So, that was not the most balanced game, but I really liked it, just because of all the ridiculous things that happened. My Chaos Sorcerer and level 4 in the end. mg.fab's level 8. He wasn't quite pulling off the ridiculous Icon of Tzeentch shenanigans, but he got to level 8 with the Rod of Warfire. Sorcerer at level 8 has 1,000 health. That's ridiculous. So yeah, Chaos pretty imba against Imperial Guard. I guess Chaos doesn't need to get a Havoc. Just get double grenade launcher heretics, and that'll win you the game. Hope you enjoyed this cast. Good night.